Corría el año 1951 cuando el entonces primer ministro Mohammad Mossadegh y el ayatollah Kashani encabezaron una de las decisiones más trascendentales de la historia de Irán, la nacionalización del petróleo. Del petróleo iraní, solo el 8% beneficiaba a los iraníes. Gran Bretaña controlaba todo. La nacionalización elevó la participación iraní del 8 al 50%, pero la soberanía plena llegó con la Revolución Islámica de 1979.
Hoy Irán produce casi 9 millones de barriles equivalentes de petróleo y gas. Su PIB se multiplicó por 4, alcanzando 400.000 millones de dólares, un salto histórico en desarrollo, poder militar y energía nuclear.
July 19, 1953. A rented car drives James Lockridge, American businessman, from Beirut, Lebanon, to Tehran, Iran. He crosses the border at Cannon King, where a guard improperly lists his name as Mr. Scar on right forehead. It doesn't make any difference. James Lockridge isn't his real name, and he's not really an American businessman. He's an agent for the CIA, America's Central Intelligence Agency. His mission? Orchestrate the CIA's first attempt to overthrow a government. Real name, Kermit Roosevelt. Age, 35. Born Buenos Aires, Argentina. Grandson of the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. He graduates from Harvard in 1938 and becomes an historian, a businessman, and an intelligence officer with the OSS. The Middle East is full of political intrigue. Iran, formerly known as Persia, is the fabled setting for Scheherazade, Alibaba, and Aladdin. But Kermit Roosevelt has to deal with reality. His target, Mohammad Mossadegh, the Prime Minister of Iran. The issues are communism and oil. Mossadegh is a colorful eccentric who holds news conferences in bed, wearing pajamas. The flamboyant Prime Minister has reduced the young Shah, Reza Pahlavi, to the status of puppet ruler. The Shah is the heir to the royal throne of Iran. Mossadegh, sympathetic to the Soviet Union, is a social reformer who detests Western imperialism. Even worse, he nationalizes the profitable Anglo-Iranian oil company. The British are livid and withdraw their technicians in protest. In Washington, President Dwight D. Eisenhower agrees to help the British overthrow Mossadegh. Operation Ajax is born. The new director of the Central Intelligence Agency is in charge. Name, Alan Welsh Dulles, age 63. A patrician and conservative, educated at Princeton. His brother, John Foster Dulles, Secretary of State for President Eisenhower. Alan Dulles ran OSS operations in Switzerland during World War II. He is a covert operations expert. The CIA's first order of business is to contact the Shah and tell him the United States and Great Britain are ready to support him in his attempt to regain power. But making contact is difficult. The palace is bugged. The American agent, Kermit Roosevelt, and the Shah must meet in secret. At these clandestine meetings, they agree on a plan. Roosevelt promises Western backing. The Shah issues two royal decrees called firmans, one deposing Mossadegh, the other appointing the Shah's brother-in-law, General Fazlollah Zahedi, as Prime Minister. When the decrees are served, Mossadegh, tipped off by a double agent, ignores them. He gathers troops loyal to him and goes on the air to announce that there's a plot against him and that he is seizing absolute power. The Shah and his wife flee to Rome in exile. The U.S. State Department sends a message ordering Kermit Roosevelt to give up and get out. But a loyal friend of Roosevelt in communications delays the message, giving him another 24 hours to try again. Roosevelt believes that the people and the army will rise up against Mossadegh with the help of the CIA. Somewhere in the milling throngs hide two professional agitators, codenamed Bosco I and Bosco II. They incite peasants trucked in from the countryside, paid by the CIA. Following Roosevelt's script, the mob surges through the streets of Tehran shouting, "Down with Mossadegh, long live the Shah." Then, at just the right moment, Roosevelt sends General Zahedi riding on top of a tank to lead the mob. They ransack Mossadegh's house, but the Prime Minister escapes. 3 days later, Mossadegh surrenders to Iranian police. He is tried for treason and placed under house arrest for 3 years. August 29, 1953, the Shah triumphantly returns. To Roosevelt, he says, "I owe my throne to God, my people, my army, and to you." The grateful Shah agrees to the creation of the National Iranian Oil Company, 40% American, 40% British, as long as the Shah remains in power. Under Kermit Roosevelt's skillful direction, Operation Ajax takes 1 month and costs only $60,000. The Iran coup is the pinnacle of CIA Chief Allen Dulles' career. But despite the success of Operation Ajax, the agent who pulled it off, Kermit Roosevelt, issues a warning.
I said, don't make the mistake of believing that this can be done anytime you want to do it. The situation has to be exactly right. You've got to have the people on your side and hopefully the army too.
But his warning falls on deaf ears. Allen Dulles is already thinking about the next communist threat, Guatemala.